Thank you very much, Anbu. I think firstly, I need to congratulate ICT Academy for doing this fabulous job. I think the Sky Campus is a great idea, and the very fact that you're reaching out to like about 4,000 odd people, I think it's a great job. So congratulations on that. And I'm really impressed to see the number of participants who are so eager to and keen to learn and see what best can be done. So with that, I'd like to get started on my topic for the day, which is unlocking business. So even before I deep dive into the topic, I want to tell you all a little thing that I'm sorry I've not made a presentation. It's going to be more of my talk for the day. It's simply because I've got a sling. I had a fall and an elbow dislocation, so I was not able to prepare any slides. But I promise I'll try to make it as interesting as possible for you, and then make up for the fact that we don't have slides for today. So unlocking businesses, right? And also we know that we are in a VUCA world. So let me start off with a story. The story is about a guy called Anand. Anand was bitten by the entrepreneurial bug. And he was very excited, and he wanted to start off doing his business. So just as he was getting started, he realized there was volatility in the Forex. It was affecting his business. He was uncertain how many of his employees would continue working with him, the good ones especially. He was also uncertain how many of his customers would continue giving him business. He found the laws, the rules, and the regulations extremely complex to handle. The markets were ambiguous. He found risk in everything. Any decision he was going to take from a business perspective, he didn't know how risky it was going to be for the business. And of course, there was disruption happening everywhere, all over. Any industry, any vertical, there's so much disruption that has been happening. So that's why, my friends, I say this is not just a VUCA world that we are living in, but a VUCA world. That is V for volatility, U for uncertainty, C for complex, A for ambiguous, like we know, and R for risky, and D for disruptive. So we are living in a VUCA world. This was, of course, the case before the COVID. Now, with the onset of COVID, VUCA has become a very big reality. I mean, every business, everybody seems to have been affected. There is a new normal. I mean, like working from home, for example, for people like me, it's a new normal. This was something that we had never thought. Maybe probably even in March, none of us thought that we would be, staying at home for such a long period of time. So there are new things that have been happening. So Anand came to me and he said, "You're a coach, so, how can you guide me through this crisis? Now, I don't know what to do. I'm feeling stuck. I don't know how to come out of my crisis." And therefore, I thought today's session can be on what were the stuff that I told Anand. So I'm going to make it like a dialogue, especially because I don't have slides to share. I thought let me try and make it interesting and see what if I was going to have a dialogue with Anand. So please bear with my acting skills. Anand, coach, why me? Why my business? I have just started doing my business. I thought I was just getting a hang of the business, and now I just feel so doomed about it, my coach. What is going to be the future? What is going to be my future? What is going to be the future of my business? How am I going to cope? Why this? I feel so stuck and I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Coach, can you please tell me about what I need to be doing and how I need to progress at this point in time? Anand, the lockdown caused by the pandemic, it has put tremendous pressure, not just on you, but all sorts of businesses, irrespective of their size and nature of the operations that they're having. Almost every other industry has been affected. It's just that the degree of the way it has been affected has varied. So there is undoubtedly great uncertainty looming around, Anand, and businesses are gearing up to see what actions can be taken. So you are exactly in that juncture. You need to see what actions that you can take and how best you need to cope and come out of this situation. Coach, is there any hope? How long do you think this is going to take? What exactly am I supposed to do now? Anand, if you observe the past, there have been pandemics, there have been economic recessions, there has been slowdowns. All this is common, especially if you were to take after the World War II, or why even recently after the Y2K, there was uncertainty everywhere. Yet, businesses managed to turn around, they sustained, they reinvented themselves, they were able to bring out their creativity out and see how best they could sustain and grow their business. So, all you need to do is wear your thinking cap on and see how you can manage and navigate through these challenging times. So, on a positive note, Anand, let us first believe that this will pass and we shall emerge successful out of this crisis. Are you ready, Anand? Yes, coach, that gives me a little bit of hope for sure. But I mean, how can I control? Can I even control it? Anand, first you have to acknowledge that the lockdown is beyond your control. However, what was, what is, and what will be under your control is the way you manage the situation despite the testing times that you are. Okay, so what do I do, coach? Let's start here, Anand. You're feeling stuck and you want to progress. Am I right? Yes, of course, coach. Okay, great. So instead of focusing on your problems, how about focusing on solutions? That sounds good for a start, coach. So tell me, what am I supposed to do? Great. Now, if you were to take any business, Anand, every business, I would say, has different wheels, which is what moves the vehicle of business forward. So most businesses, the common wheels, I would say, are like finance, marketing, operations, strategy, your suppliers, your customers, technology, and your strategy. So you need to have all these wheels of your business in place and see what you can do. So let's start dissecting your business into these different wheels, the 8 different wheels of your business, right? So are you ready, Anand? Yes, coach. Tell me what I should be doing. Okay, great. So let's start off with finance, my favorite. Oh, finance. I dread that, coach. I don't know about my cash situation. You know, even when I think of finance and how I'm going to move my business, I'm like, oh my God, I'm just overwhelmed. I don't know what to do, coach. What makes you feel that way, Anand? From a finance perspective, coach, I foresee a lot of risks. Liquidity risk, cash risk, investment risk, forex risk, credit risk. Oh my God, it's just too much for me to handle, coach. Relax, Anand. Let's see what we can do step by step. Okay, so first, you need to take stock of your current liquidity position. You need to know the amount of cash that you have. You need to see how you can improve your liquidity. You need to assess your working capital requirements. Oh, by the way, you can check out my latest video on my YouTube channel. The channel is called Sangsha Sum, and I have given you a very nice short story about 2 tuck shop owners and how they managed this crisis by managing their working capital so efficiently. Anand, you know, right, what is working capital? It's the difference between your current assets and current liabilities. So once you know how to manage this, you are having an upper hand. So to give you a little tip, Anand, lower the working capital, your cash flow is going to be better. So see how you can manage this. And for more information, of course, Anand, you can check out the video on my YouTube channel, right? So the fourth step that you can take is you need to take remedial actions. Like, for example, you can defer certain payments, right? You can prepare a complete financial analysis of your business. You can also look at having newer business models. You can further segregate your expenses, right? Because your cash inflow is not under your control, but your cash outflow is very much under your control. So I would suggest, Anand, that you classify your expenses as highly essential expenses, and not so essential expenses at this juncture, so that you can plan your cash better. Also, you need to take rational financial decisions. At this point in time, especially when you're feeling stuck, you tend to take a lot of emotional decisions. While I acknowledge that we are all humans and we tend to take decisions based on an emotional level, at this point in time, you need to take more rational decisions, right? So think of what good it's going to do to your business and then take necessary financial decisions. Next, you can also explore possibilities of availing better credit terms, collecting your dues from your customers, and negotiate with all your vendors and bankers for better payment terms, right? And most important, Anand, you need to prioritize your legal and compliance expenses, because you might as well ensure that you avoid any interest and penalty charges, which is obviously going to eat away into your profits. And lastly, on finance, you need to prepare a cash forecast for the next few months ahead so that you can plan your cash flow better. Oh, thank you, Coach. That actually gives me some bit of hope on what I can actually do on my finances. Okay, right. But what about people? I mean, people are working from home. I feel I have no control on what they're doing. What can I do about the people? I feel that's a big risk at this point in time. Am I even paying my staff for nothing at all? Anand, you must realize that people are the most important asset for any organization. Of course, while you may have the risk, as an employer, it is essential that you engage your teams in a meaningful manner. You need to give them proper sense of direction for the path ahead. You have to communicate and be transparent. If you are having a challenge, if you're having a difficulty, make your employees and teams know about it, right? Don't keep them in the dark. Brainstorm together with your teams. While you are mulling over your problem, solutions you're thinking of has just one brain, which is yours. But together as a team, when you involve your team, they also feel involved. They feel they are contributing as well. And you can capitalize on the power of collective ideas, right? So brainstorm together with your teams. Of course, if you think as a coach, I can help, I'm of course glad to talk to your teams about it. So reach out to a coach or a mentor. At this point in time, like how you are feeling stuck and feeling so low, I'm sure even the morale of your employees must be low. They are also feeling insecure about it. So show some compassion. Be compassionate towards your team. In my opinion, Anand, it may not be the right time to lay off your staff, because their morale and the productivity is going to go low and they're going to feel a lot more insecure as well. So therefore, see what best you can do. But at the same time, since you need to conserve your cash, come up with alternatives. Like, for example, maybe you can ask them to go on forced leave, right? And adjust against their leave salary. Or you can postpone paying their bonuses. Or you can even tell them that I'm going to pay you, let's say, 75% of your salary now. And if things get better, I will maybe defer the 25% to a later date, or maybe not. So this way, at least everybody is on the same page. And remember, Anand, this should start from you, right? It has to flow from the top. Anand, also, if you're looking at hiring new employees, put it on freeze at this point in time, because you think your business is running in an uncertain way right now. So freeze new hire. And remember to build a strong organization culture, because with the fear of layoffs, the best in your employees is not going to come out. So if you want them to give your business the very best, ensure you're with them together. As a team, you win. Remember, team is an acronym. It stands for together, everyone achieves more, right? So see how best you can help your employees at this point in time. Yes, coach. Now I do feel a slow amount of hope coming up. Thank you for that. But then tell me, coach, how can I manage to continue with my production? Because I do notice that there could be a risk in the material availability, my input costs, and even the quality that I'm going to get from my suppliers and vendors. How am I to manage that, coach? Yes, Anand. You need to get a constant supply of materials and other essentials from all your suppliers, because if you don't, your business will not be functioning efficiently. So, how can you mitigate the supply chain risk? Firstly, if you have a good rapport with your suppliers, Anand, leverage on it. You can talk to them, negotiate for better deals, better terms and conditions. And if you're a little cash rich, you can, of course, ask them for a lot of discount, right? So it becomes a win-win for both you and your supplier. Prepare an age analysis of your suppliers so that you know which supplier needs to be paid when, right? And you can also start getting comparative quotes from different suppliers who supply the same thing, because you know who's offering you better quality and also who's offering you better rates and better terms and conditions, and you can start capitalizing on it. Also, see if you can spread your supplier base. For instance, if you are relying only for your materials from China alone, see if there are ways you can widen your supplier base so that you have more chances of ensuring your business is going on in a smooth manner. Right, Anand? Are you with me there? Yes, coach. That sounds good to me. I will see what I can do with my suppliers and do like what you've advised. Good, Anand. So from here, what do you want to discuss next, Anand? Customers, coach, they are so important. And right now, I feel I have no clue about the demand of my suppliers, because I do notice a lot of behavioral changes happening amongst my customers. So what am I supposed to do there, coach? And also, I do notice a collection risk there. So how do you think I should handle my customers now, coach? Sure, Anand, I'm more than happy to discuss the customer point of view. So first, if you think your customers are in genuine trouble, I think you must extend discounts or give them credit facility so that your customers feel good about you and you feel good that your business is continuing as well. You can always make up for this at a later date when things get better. Also, you can ask your customers to refer you to potential clients, right? Because if they are happy with you, I'm sure they'll be more than happy to refer you to others. So also, Anand, explore possibilities of cross-selling with your existing customers so that you don't have to go in search of new customers, right? Offer them attractive, compelling, and irresistible schemes so that your customers compelled to take your products or your services. And remember, you need to be constantly in touch with your customers, not just from a business perspective, but also from your collections perspective. You need to be there on top of their head so that they are always reminded of you. And should their requirement arise, the first person they reach out to is you, Anand. And also, you can give them options of settling their dues in tranches if they are pressed for cash. Just like how you are pressed for cash, probably they are also pressed for cash. So you need to take into account that as well and create a good synergy with your customers. Sounds good, Anand? Yes, coach. That sounds pretty good. I know what to do with my customers and I think I can handle them from here. Thank you for that. Good. Coach, so with my existing customers, I know what to do, but how can I reach out to newer customers? Because I think there is a cost of customer acquisition is quite high. So how can I even recover the spend on my marketing at this point in time? Okay, Anand, so you want to discuss marketing next. Yes. So especially if you're keen to grow your customer base, marketing is definitely going to help you. So let's see what you can do in marketing. So first, you need to come up with your marketing strategy. Do you want to be bullish with your marketing or bearish in your marketing? You have to take a call, and this would be relevant at this juncture considering the crisis, right? Also, what you could do is you can take the past and the current cost of acquisition for your customers, and based on that, set what will be the ideal cost of the current customer acquisition in this particular context, right? So set yourself limits so that you don't go overboard spending too much on marketing and not getting sufficient returns. So set yourself good limits for your marketing. And of course, your marketing needs to be targeted to your right target audience. You don't want every Tom, Dick, and Harry to be getting your product, right? It has to reach your right target audience. So set up your marketing strategy in such a way that you're able to penetrate deep down to your right target audience. Also, you can maybe even set aside required percentages of your sales towards your marketing spend so that every time you have a good sale, a certain percentage of it is reinvested into marketing from growing your business. Wow, coach, that sounds good. That's a plan. I know what I need to do on my marketing. Thank you. That makes me feel better. Now, you also said there was strategy. So what sort of strategies do I need to come up with now, coach? Because there is a lot of insecurity and I feel I don't have enough clarity to move ahead with my strategies. So what would you suggest there, coach? Sure, Anand, I'm glad to help you there. So first, you need to define your strategy, which is in line with your mission and vision, which is the overall thing for your business, right? So put pen to paper in place. You need to come up with your revised business plan considering the current crisis. Thereafter, set common goals and communicate it to all your teams so that all of you are on the same page and working towards a common goal. Look out for collaborations, see if you can share resources, right? For example, you can start collaborating even with your competitors. Remember how banks collaborated with each other on their ATMs, isn't it? So similarly, see how best you can collaborate. Maybe you can start sharing resources, be it like office space or resources like who can do marketing for you, right? So see how best you can collaborate with people around you, not necessarily your competitors, but others around as well, maybe even with your friends on it. Right. And then be on the lookout. There are big corporates and cash-rich organizations who may want to evaluate forward and backward integration at this point in time, or they may also want to do mergers and acquisitions. So if it creates a win-win for both you as well as a bigger corporate, why not give this a try? Just have your ears and eyes open and things will start to fall out. Not that you have to do it right now, but you could always evaluate such options on it and keep it ready so that if the time is right and if there is a necessity, you can always explore these options. Also, Anand, you have to assess and evaluate before having any new product launches. Is this the right time? Will the market be receptive? Was your customer interested in purchasing this at this point in time? These are questions that you need to sit back, think about before you actually take a decision. You need to have a risk mitigation strategy in place because with so much of risk everywhere, you need to know how you need to manage your risk. Very important. You need to keep yourself abreast about your industry happenings on it, like not just your supplier, but your supplier's supplier. Because if your supplier's supplier is not able to supply to your supplier on time, your supplier will not be able to supply to you on time. Similarly, your customer's customer. If your customer's customer doesn't pay your customer on time, your customer is going to have problems to pay you on time. So you need to know what is happening in the entire industry. So read more and see how you can keep yourself abreast, network, and see how you can know what is happening in your industry at every point in time. Also, for your strategies, you need to be cautious with any sort of investment that you want to be in at this point in time. So double think on any investment decisions. Lastly, you need to define your key performance indicators for your entire business. At this point in time, while you may have fixed KPIs for your business in the past, you could revisit them and see if it is relevant in this time of pandemic and lockdown, right? So with that, Anand, strategy, are you clear with your strategies? What needs to be in place? Yes, coach, thanks. That feels good. I also wanted to ask you, what about the operation? Because there could be operation risk as well, isn't it? Like, what about my business continuity plan, disaster recovery plan, operations? How do you think I can ensure a smooth flowing operation irrespective of the lockdown, coach? Great, Anand. Great question. So what you can start is redraft your policies and procedures. You need to focus on business efficiency. Every aspect of your business. How efficiently are you performing? Start measuring and quantifying, starting from your team's productivity to probably your machinery. How well are you utilizing all your resources? So encourage better productivity by creating efficient utilization amongst all your resources. So this needs to be the message that you are driving down to your teams across. Also, you need to avoid delays and rework because this eats away into your time and as a result into your profits. Think out of the box, Anand. You can ideate, repackage the current operation models, right? So that you're still able to move ahead and there's progress in your business. You don't have to always see the traditional ways, but see what is it that you can do differently, right? And that will propel your business ahead. So strengthen your business continuity plan as well as your disaster recovery plan. Put things in place. All these will be good if you document them as well, Anand, so that there is no ambiguity and the entire team is in the same page. Sure, coach, I got it. Thanks for that. Right. So what about technology, coach? Because these days, everything runs on technology, right? This is a digital era. But having said that, I also see some security risk and IT risk too. How do you think I can move ahead here, coach? Sure, Anand. You said it right. We are in a digital era and you need to take advantage of technology in every aspect. But having said that, no compromises on security because security is very vital and all your data has to remain secure. So first, to grow your business, I think you need to start exploring more on online options. Why? Let me give you two very simple examples. My children, all their coaching classes happens online. They have every day couple of hours where they connect and the coaching happens online, just like how we are talking. Similarly, have you heard of Art of Living? They conduct meditation courses online twice every day, once at 12 noon and again at 7:30 p.m. Who thought that all this would become online and these are live, right? So see how you can reach out to your prospective customers by enhancing your online presence. So you need to have cost-effective technological options. You need to identify areas where technology can actually speed up your process and your production. You need to have a prominent digital presence so that your brand is well known and well recognized by everybody. You could also decipher the past data and the trends with the help of technology, and these analytical results can actually throw some light and devise your path ahead. Does that sound good to you, Anand? Is this workable? Oh, yes, coach. Definitely, yes. You're right. I need to move more online. Though I do have a bit of an online presence, I think I need to step up there, get into more virtual meetings, and see what best I can do and how best I can come out of this situation. Oh, that was really fantastic, Coach, for touching upon the 8 business wheels. And is there anything else you think I should do, Coach, apart from this? Yes, Anand, some bit of generic things that I'd like to tell you at this juncture. Display empathy with all your business relationships, especially your employees, your customers, your suppliers, because you need to build on relationships, and that's what will help your business going in the long term, right? So you can do that. You can also reach out for professional help in areas that you require, because the professionals know how best to manage. You can also explore working, like let's say co-working spaces once the lockdown is lifted. And basically the idea is to minimize your fixed overhead. Encourage team spirit, reinvent yourself, reinvent your products, reinvent your services so that it's in line with your customers' requirement at this point in time. Most importantly, do the right stuff for your business so that the future of your business is brighter. So this was the advice that I gave Anand, and I'm sure you can utilize this in your walk of life. You can teach your students about this. And as I said, sorry that I couldn't do the presentation, but like Anbu said, you can find this article. I have written this on LinkedIn. You can go to my LinkedIn page and you can connect with me on LinkedIn as well, saying that, you know, you attended this webinar, and the article has all these points that I have covered. So happy to connect with you on LinkedIn, and you could also subscribe to my YouTube channel where I keep giving finance mantras and few other tips for businesses and also for high performance. My YouTube channel is called Sang Shah Sum, which is an abbreviation of my name, SANGSHASUM. And yeah, I'm also the author of a bestseller. It's called What's the Finance? So if you would like to know more on finance and how to manage, I would encourage you to read that. And then once you read it, come back to me with your comments. And my 2 other books, one is a free download on Audible. It's called The Power of High Performance Coaching. So you can just download the Audible app and you can hear this book for free. It's about a 30-minute book. And my first book is a spiritual thriller. It's called A Glance at the Unknown. So feel free to reach out to all this. And yeah, also next week, I plan to do another webinar, me and another friend together. So I'll post details on LinkedIn. So you feel free to share and
Thank you, madam. Thank you.